white snow, red sky, reach out for a soul so high, blue eyes, fake cry, beware of the fox tonight. Cold feet, dark rain, my blood in your frozen veins, dream high, no pain, run fast in the broken chains.
Yo, 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 everyone! So, welcome to CPL TV, hosted by Agge TV, or the other way around. I'm IRK Agge, and I'm usually your host when it comes to the team reveal show. So, this is season 6. We're gonna reveal all the teams for the upcoming season, and with me I have Snipe, Stromkarlen, and Saetzero. And we're soon gonna go into studio. We're just gonna do a sound check here, and let's see if first we're gonna do like this. So I hope that my sound is okay and you can hear me well. The chat isn't working in my OBS due to me streaming through CPL Twitch, so I have to switch between screens here, but I think it's gonna be okay anyways. So we'll see here. There we have the chat. I think should be okay, and let's see if we can get everyone in here as well. So we got Snipe, we got Strom, we got Saetzero, I think. Is everyone here?
Hello?
There's Strom.
Oh, I got the echo. Gotta turn the stream off now.
There's Saetzero.
That was Snipe mumbling.
Yo.
Oh.
Yo, hello. Hello. Yeah, I'm here.
And then we need to get Saetzero here.
I'm here. I said hello. I wasn't mumbling. Just Snipe was also just being.
Oh, I'm still echoing. There we go.
So,
You're echoing? I don't hear you echoing.
No, I just had the stream on. That's why.
I think we can hear everyone now. I upped Saetzero to 200%.
I did warn you.
Yeah. So I think everyone can hear everyone right now. I'm gonna up the desktop audio here as well. Alright, so welcome guys! Another team reveal. Let's start with the introduction of you guys before we start, because I know we have some new players to the CPL season, right? Let's start with Snipe.
Alright, what do you want me to say? I'm admin of CPL. Been around since the very first CPL. Looking forward to this season. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's the biggest one yet, so everyone should get hyped. Team reveal stream. We're here. Let's do it.
Nice. Next up, Strom.
Hey everybody, I'm Stromkarlen. I'm much newer to the scene than both of these guys. You might know me from last CPL season. I did the Apocalypse matches with Least. And yeah, I also run Rogues Gallery, but I'm a staff member in CPL, and I have a lot to do with the team building, so that's why I'm here today.
Last but not least, Saetzero.
Hello. I'm one of the casting coordinators for CPL. You probably will see me on Match of the Week, just talking, acting like I know how to play this game, but I don't actually play this game very much, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'm here to entertain you all.
Great. And yeah, we're gonna reveal the team soon. We're gonna start off with just some random information for all new users in CPL. Do we have any new stuff coming up this season? What's new in CPL season 6?
Smaller map pool. Some people were talking about that in feedback, and they're like, hey, we want a few less maps. So we've done that. We'll get to the map pool too in a little bit, I think. And also we're trying to make it now a little bit shorter of a season, but with a higher percentage of players playing per week, which will hopefully allow the staff members to not burn out as quickly and allow us to have shorter turnaround so we can do more seasons. So we're looking at doing a second season as well this year, rather than just doing one and then disappearing for 6 months or something before the next seasons.
Yeah, the 10-week like regular seasons that we did like last season, they're very difficult on the staff. So we kind of like we talked about it with some people in the community, and it seemed like people were pretty split on which they preferred. But we're just gonna try this out and see if it's better for like the coaches and the staff, the people that are more easily to or more likely to burn out, and then maybe we'll be able to like have a new season faster with less of a break, which I think will be an overall improvement if we're able to do that. What else do we have new? We have more teams this season. We have way more people. Signups were huge. So many people signed up on Team Liquid. What is like approximately the increase this season, Snipe, in signups? It was like 100, wasn't it?
Something like, well, we have 232 players put onto 6 different teams this season.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, a lot of new players. Definitely some returning faces, people that have been playing with CPL for a number of years or a number of seasons. So that's always exciting to see. Yeah, initial signups were close to 250 this season. I think we had something like 176 players play at least one series last season. So definitely, getting up there.
Yeah, and we added a ton of waitlisted players last season, so that number is probably not exactly what happened at the initial signups. I think this season we also have a lot of new coaches. Like there's a lot of people on teams that have like recently found CPL and haven't done a ton of they haven't done CPL coaching before. Like lots of them have coached like individually or on their own time. So it's nice to see that they're willing to get involved and stuff. What about casting, Saetzero? What do you guys have planned for casting this season?
So the only major like committed plans that we do that is just we do the match of the week stuff, which this season we are doing 2 every week to kind of highlight more of the high level players and also get the lower level players. Because that's something I noticed last season. We kind of kept picking a lot like tier 1, tier 0, higher level play. So we're doing 2 match of the weeks now to kind of give everyone a little bit more of the spotlight. We also have a lot of new casters that have volunteered and already stepped up through preseason. A lot of games getting casted so far. So definitely the casting roles team is very active. And if anyone's listening to this and you are interested at all, message me on Discord. We can set you up. We can get you started. It's a really good time. It's another way to get involved with the community. If you haven't given it a shot, it's worth looking into.
Yeah, and with over 250 players, like there's going to be a ton of games to cast.
Yeah, no way we can get them all casted, but they'll do their best to get as many people casted as possible, as many games casted as they can. So definitely contact Saetzero if you want to get involved, or Noblime, not Lemon. Speaking of which, we also have a couple new staff members helping us out this season. We added in Albert Shogun, as you can see in the chat, aka Ash Return, as a general staff member, and Camo Daz as another casting coordinator to help cover the European time zones. So we have like a casting coordinator in North America, Europe, and in Australia now. So we can cover most of those time zones and get you those games, get you those announcements, and get those casts going.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's a really big addition. And with that addition, like last season, one of the kind of not a huge problem, but kind of a questionable thing that we ran into was that most of the staff members ended up on the same team. So this season we've split that up. We have 6 staff members and 6 teams. So there'll be a staff member on every team. That's separate from the team admins, but hopefully this way we'll be able to like keep track of the activity levels on all 6 teams and make sure all the teams are doing well at all time.
Wow, that sounds great, guys. And when it comes to this casting part, I actually started casting when I joined CPL 2, I think. And it's a great environment if you want to learn how to cast games and have a lot of people to talk about casting. So if you have any questions or you want to try out casting, you should really try casting some CPL games.
Yeah,
I think we still. Sorry.
Yeah, I literally just started doing it like my second. It was like my second season in. I'm just like, it'll be fun. Why not? And I just jumped into it. You get better as you do it. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. There's no pressure to. It's like you're not meant to be Artosis. Just have a good time with it. But literally anyone could do it at any skill level, even. there's a lot of ways that you could do it to just get involved. So don't feel intimidated when you see people. It's like, I could never do that. Trust me, you can.
Yeah. All right. So about the teams, I know, Strom, that you have been you're the head when it comes to building the teams. What's new in the team building this season?
Yeah, so me and Snipe worked together on the teams this season. Last season he was sick, so I did most of it, but this season it was a collaborative experience. This season we're kind of doing the same thing that we did last season, where we have a emphasis on making sure that players that are in similar time zones are put together. So we actually added the time zone on the initial sign-up application. So kind of the way that works is we now have 2 European teams because we had an increase in signups overall. And we have 4 kind of like North American quote unquote teams with like a couple that have an emphasis on like later evening play. So like Australia or players that are from Asia and have time zones that are closer to that. So yeah, time zone splitting. And then the other thing that actually the hardest part of building teams is building the coaching teams.
Yes.
Yeah. we changed the coaching teams a lot of times before we finally settled on it. And I think the main issue there is that we want to try and make sure that there's coaching help for every race on every team. Because we're sticking with teams that are a little bit bigger this season, just to make sure that their coaching staff don't get overworked. Because one of the problems in like past seasons when there were smaller coaching teams was that if you end up with like your primary coach going inactive for a week, there's like nobody else to help out. So we split it in a way that we think that there's not so many people on the teams that you won't be able to like build a community and build a practice environment. But we can still offer like one coach of each race and some assistant coaches to make sure that like everybody gets help and everybody can get practice partners and stuff. So I think it's good. I'm pretty happy with what we came up with. I think we honored like most of the requests that were made on Team Liquid. We were able to follow through with, and most of the coach requests, and I think we got a lot of the players that got drafted. All the teams actually drafted players this season. So hopefully the coaches are happy with the players they got as well.
Great. Snipe, anything to add to that?
No, not much. I think she got most of that covered. Like I said, it was pretty streamlined for the most part once we got handled everyone's requests and the coaches picked some of their players. Didn't take us as long as we thought it might, which was nice. Like you said, definitely the coaches were a little bit more tricky to get the patchings just right, but I think we're happy with what we got, and I hope everyone will be happy with their teams, and I can't wait to get this started.
Yeah, it's a giant puzzle, so I hope you appreciate the results. It's like, yeah, the coaching teams are definitely the hardest to create, but it really is a giant puzzle. We're trying to get like 250 people, and it's like a 4, 5, or 5-step process as well. So
just try to get everyone where they should be or where they can be. You know, try to balance the teams and everything. Give everyone the similar number of races and skill levels and everything to start the season. So I think we did a pretty good job though, getting as balanced as we could and meeting player requests. So.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
You mentioned skill levels. Do you want to explain maybe to existing CPL players that played before if the MMRs have been changed a little bit for each tier, like what all tiers mean this season compared to previous ones?
Sure, yeah, it's pretty similar. I did try and like shift it a little bit just to try and, get the tiers having a little bit more equal number of players. It's harder because sometimes the lower tiers have a little less players and they might be more likely to go inactive in some cases. So it's like, well, we want to make sure there's enough of them to be able to continue to play each week. But roughly we would say like tier 0, say 1,700 or a little over 1,700 to 1,900. And tier 1 would be 1,500 to 1,700. Tier 2, 1,300 to 1,500, and then Tier 3, anything below 1,300.
All right. So I know that a lot of people are eager to hear about the map pool as well. I know this is a smaller map pool than the previous seasons. We got 5 maps only.
That's right. Yep, we had discussion about that in Discord, and people seem to want a smaller map pool, so we got 5.
Yeah, I think it goes well with the shorter season as well. Like if we do like a 7 map pool, that's a lot of maps to learn in a shorter period of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can hook up the maps here.
All right.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we definitely got a few ladder maps in here, and then a couple other ones. So.
Yeah, so the first map is gonna be Polypoid, and well, I'm gonna just pop it up right there. So it's one of the more used map right now, and it's a ladder map, of course, 4-player map.
Yeah, it was in preseason, so
Yeah.
definitely a little foreshadowing that could be here in regular season.
And the next one should be Circuit Breaker, also a 4-player map.
That's right. We did not have circuit breakers last season, and there were people, they were like, oh, where's circuit breakers gone, right? So here it is. It's back.
The token
Circuit
circuit
breakers.
breakers. Yeah, I don't think either of these first 2 maps should be surprising at all.
No.
No.
Now the third map, I don't think many people know it. I know it from the BWCL, but it's Shakura's Temple. It's a 4-player map. It looks fun, it looks nice, but it's a really annoying map.
Yeah. So this map, kind of its reason for inclusion, if you guys haven't seen it before, is that it's a very popular map in Korea right now. And one of the concerns that a lot of like players have with the CPL map pool is they want to be able to find pro games to look at and study. So pros are playing this map a lot. It's not on ladder, so you'll have to practice it with your teammates. And who knows, maybe it'll be in the next ladder season because, like I said, it's getting played a lot right now. So I think it'll be a good addition.
Yeah, notably, there's a lot of maps that have a lot of history and a lot of games behind them, but the meta, like these in like recent years compared to back 10, 15 years ago, like there's some things that it's just like you'll see games it's like no one does this anymore. So picking a map that's a lot more current, has a lot more like very recent games to study is very helpful to like just keep up with what people you're actually going to see at games.
Yeah, and it is important to have maps that aren't in the ladder map pool because you want the players in each team to practice with each other, of course. And well, I think this is a perfect map because this is nowhere near any of the other maps in the map pool, so you have to practice it.
Yeah, it's like a current map, and hopefully it'll like scratch the itch for the players that want to play on like weirder maps, you know. Plus, it's like one of the non-ladder maps that you have to practice with your teammates.
Yeah, and the fourth one is gonna be Sylphid, 3-player map.
Which also currently is not on ladder for some reason. But very
Should
popular
be,
map.
but it's not.
You don't like Plasma? You don't love Plasma?
Plasma over
Yeah,
Silver,
okay.
let's change it right now.
Yeah, Plasma for CPL 7, guys. I'll make it happen.
Well, I would love it because I love Plasma. It's the ultimate
course you
cheese
do.
map. You know?
Of course you do, yeah.
If you want a proxy,
Agge
do
kinda
Plasma. Alright, and the last map is, of course, the 2-player map Eclipse. Alright.
Yeah, that's right. Very popular map right now as well. 2-player map. So we got 2-player, 3-player, and a couple of 4-player maps in the pool.
Yeah.
Speaking of the pool, there will be a map pack released. Shout out to Wishbones for putting that together for me. He has all the OBS versions and all the regular versions, so you can play both within your team. That'll be released under the CPL Season 6 rules when that gets updated sooner than later.
Alright. So, guys, are we ready to go into the team reveal?
Honestly, I'm just
I don't know. Are we ready?
I don't know. Is the chat ready? Maybe.
Ready to
Is the
riot?
chat ready for this? That's the biggest question, right? All right. Well, I've been looking at these because I was setting up the overlays here, but yeah, this I'm really eager about this.
I think the chat is too. They're spamming it up.
Yeah.
They're ready
Yeah,
to see.
yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do
Hype,
it.
hype.
Team number 1 or team 1 is
It's one of the European teams.
It is one of the
No.
European teams.
okay. So just take 10 seconds, look at this, and then we'll start discussing the different tiers and the coaches, of course.
All right, so this is one of the European teams, and the CPL staff member on this team, as you can see, is going to be Camo Daz, so one of our casting coordinators, and he'll be keeping an eye on things.
Okay. Well, I see a lot of IRK players in here, and I see myself as well. So, and it's great to see
look
that
at that.
Camadas is also IRK player, and to see him in the coaching stuff or the administration stuff is awesome. Well, we got favorite back in the coaching position, and also a new coach here with Medino. I don't know, was Squall coach last season, or was that only
No,
Chad?
Squall and Medino are both new.
yeah.
When we were like looking at the initial list of coaches, I was kind of, because we want to do 2 European teams, and I was kind of looking at the rosters, and I couldn't see how we were going to do that with the Terran coaches. So I reached out to Medino, and he was enthusiastic about helping some Terran players. So very excited to see him on a team. I think he's like committed to doing some replay review and helping out some Terran players, so that's good. And Master Ray, of course, is like the CPL veteran coach, right? He was on MCMS with me in my first season with Agge, and great Protoss players, streams all the time. He's a very good coach, very interactive, loves coaching on voice. So I think that any team with Master Ray is like basically guaranteed a great CPL experience.
I would agree with that. I mean, I do casting with Master 8 in BSL for Chobu League, or Ghost League, sorry. We did do a little bit of Chobu League at one point too, but really great guy. Like I said, very good coaching experience. I've heard from his players in the past that they love him as a coach, so definitely look forward to that. He put in a lot of work towards drafting players and stuff as well. So yeah, anyone with Master 8 is going to have a good experience in my opinion, for sure. This looks like a pretty good team.
Yeah, this looks like a lot of the players are from the TSH team from last season, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like split between the 2 European teams, because there was like, we wanted to make sure that both European teams would be active. So one of the problems that we run into with building teams is like, if we throw all the European players that we know on one team and all the unknowns on the other team, it could turn out really well, but it could also turn out to be a problem. So we kind of like kept some friend groups together and kept some friend groups together on the other team. So this team's got all those Protoss players that wanted Master Ray. I think Stanel and Sini have both worked with him in the past. Sini was on MCMS with me, and that's when he started working with Master Ray. So not surprised he wanted him again. And then we kind of have like some Terran players that Medino drafted, and we also have the Greth, Diggity, Barisu, NHFFA kind of crew in the tier 3 as well. So that should be fun.
And Radovo, you may notice the star by his name. It's mostly because he said he wanted to volunteer to be a team admin, but he doesn't actually want to play this season. And he's like, oh, I'll be the team admin for the NHFFA team. So that's why he's there as well.
Great, yeah, team admins. So the team admins in each team will have a star.
Still to be decided, yeah. Well, no, not yet. It's still to be decided who's going to be team admins, I think, but usually we have a couple every season. Yeah, that'll happen here over the next week when teams get together, start deciding their team names and logos and all that. So,
all right.
If you want to be a team admin for your team after you see it today, feel free to shoot me or snipe a DM, and I can add you in. Are we like giving like shout outs to individual players on here?
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Sure.
Did you have something to say, Saetzero?
Well, I was gonna say that you mentioned team admins. I'm cracking the whip this season about teams uploading their replays. And all need to be kept in control, and it's not as bad as it making it seem. It's not a bad thing. It's one of the main responsibilities of team admin though, is collecting replays and make sure they are uploaded into the folders to get everything ready.
Yeah, replays and lineups.
Yeah, I would say if we're gonna shout out some players, I know I love there's some wild card players in this team. I love casting. Agge, Quad, Jess. They all kind of jump out at me as like I don't know what we're gonna get when we see them play.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I guess I have a couple shout outs for just like individual players on here. The first one is Ash Sands. I think he's like he started playing like last CPL, and I think he's like I don't know if he hit B rank, but he's very close recently, so he's gotten good really fast. I think you should definitely keep an eye on him as somebody who might even go up to tier 0 this season. I also would like to give a shout out to Camodaz, who also has improved really fast. He was tier 3 last season, I think. And he did really well in last RSL, and now he did well enough in preseason to get into tier 1. So he's somebody else to look out for. And then the last person I wanted to shout out is actually Quad. He's been around for a while, but he's been playing in RSL, and he streamed ladder on RSL like every single day. So he's grinding ladder. He's playing a ton of games. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him shoot up in skill, because I know he's been around for a while, but he's really like playing a lot of games recently. So props to him.
Yeah. Just I know from casting him before. It really like I know he puts the work and puts a lot of games in. It's more that he plays a little not standard more than he probably should. But I'm sure a coach will whip him with the shape.
Yeah, I haven't seen I don't really know him very much from before. I just have noticed recently, and like I've helped him a little bit with a couple things, and I just know that he's been playing a ton of ladder on RSL server. So anybody who's putting in that many games is definitely going to improve. So yeah, and I guess like shout out to Ashball as well for just like all the admin work he does in the scene and helping out with the CPL frequently asked questions thread that we have now.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think that I've been on the European teams every season I've been in, and I think that the greatest part about the European team had been the team admins, because they've had so much control over everything and kept everyone at bay and so on. So I think that's a really important thing for the American teams to adopt from the European teams. I'm missing Return here in our team, but I'm guessing he's in team 2 then, since he's an administrator.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, and also if I have to do a shout out here, it's Advil, RK Advil, the third brother of Sini and Sinclair. So gonna be interesting to see how far he'll get in the end of the season.
Oh yeah, I actually saw Sinclair hit. He's not in CPL, but I saw he hit A rank on Twitter actually.
Yeah. Whoa, they don't hear me? Mac says they don't hear me. I hope they. Yeah.
Nobody hears you. We got to start the stream over. Just kidding.
All right.
Keep an eye on chat. You're good. Okay.
Yeah. So, should we go into the next?
They said you could be a little louder, maybe. Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
should
Let's do it.
Myself? Yeah, I fixed that.
A couple people said you're just a little low, but yeah. Team 2 up next. This will be the second or other European team.
Here we go.
So if you're European and you're not on the first one, you're probably here on the second one. If not, there may be an issue.
Yeah, true. If not, you reported the wrong time zone.
Or we wrote it down wrong or something.
Well, I usually
Always possible.
paste, so yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right. So team number 2. There we have Return, as admin, and yeah, let's talk about this team. I see a lot of TSH members in here as well. So
Yep.
Yeah.
They got split up between two teams, basically, like we were saying.
yeah, but also a
def-
lot of new players, I think, that I haven't seen in CPL before.
Do you want to take the? Do you have an overview of this team, Snipe, or do you want to let me do it?
Sure, I can do it. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. No, we've got Shad returning again for coaching, which is always nice, and Kryok. He's very active in the help chair and help channels. I've seen him post a lot, as is CRVT, very strong Protoss, who was definitely kind of under the radar for me until CPL. I was like, oh, I didn't know this guy, but he's very strong. Their tier 0 just looks really intimidating. Like Jedi 1 I know is really strong, Space is really good, All In, Fazic. Like their tier 0 is going to be hard to stop for any team, I think.
Yeah.
But looking through, I did see some comments in the chat like, oh, I didn't know this person was European, this person is from Europe, what? A few players have been added to the European teams that aren't from Europe, that said they could play during a European time zone. Just because we didn't have quite enough players, the European teams would be a little bit smaller than the other teams. So we reached out to a few players that said, hey, we could play during the European time zones. We're fine being on European teams. So if you see someone, they're like, I'm not sure if they're European, they may not be, but they're able to play during that same time zone.
Yeah. So there's like most of those players are in tier 2 and tier 3. Like if you remember, I put up an announcement a while ago looking for players to kind of fill that out because it was like we had the exact right amount of tier 1s, and then we had I think we added one NA tier 0 that's like exit. He wanted one of the European Terran coaches, and then we have like the tier 2s and tier 3s were just a little bit light. Not sure why, but it just ended up that way, and there's lots of NA players that prefer to play at an earlier time anyways, so we just stuck them on those teams, and I think it should work out good.
Yeah. They have a legend there in tier 3, Buenaventura, the legend from TSH.
Yes.
Tier 1 players.
Beating tier 1 players from tier 3, the legend himself.
Yeah.
The actual legend, yes.
He's an auto win for any team.
Auto win there in tier 3, yeah.
And I think it's really cool with the coaches. We see a Quark from UK and CRVT. Really cool to have those guys in the coaching team. I don't think they've been coaches before, have they?
No, I think CRVT has been like posting in the help channel since before the signups for this season went out, because I distinctly remember like somebody coming into my inbox and asking to give him a coach role because he was good and they wanted him to like have the authority in the help channel. But yeah, the like I said, quote unquote veteran coaches on this team are Shad and Kryok, and I knew that like Shad did a lot of group work with his team last season, so I wanted to make sure that like Master Ray and Shad were on two different teams because I know both of them are like really community active coaches, and that way you have like one of them on each team. And then other than that, we have like I guess some more. There's kind of like IRK and Ash players on both teams. But yeah, it's like I guess the biggest shout out I'd give looking at this list is probably Inkjet. He played Protoss last season, but he's playing Terran now, and he didn't switch too long ago, and he's already tier 1. And his like work ethic is very good. He plays a ton, and I think he's another one that I'd be like, yeah, like if he doesn't hit tier 0 this season, I'm probably going to be more surprised than if he does hit tier 0. So definitely somebody to watch out for. And then, yeah, I'm kind of like looking through the rest of the names. I don't know too many of these people. I know Y2 Kid though. He's on my team. And he's kind of a bit of a wild card because he's a PvP sniper, but his other matchups are a little bit weaker.
A couple names that I recognize. First one, definitely like player to watch. Lana is hot. Did well in RSL before joining CPL at all, and then in the preseason looked very strong. You can see like already placed in tier 2 to start, even though I think the initial placing was maybe going to see if tier 3 was right. So that's a player I would expect to improve quickly, considering that they played in RSL before even joining CPL. Looks like they're really invested in the game, trying to work on it. Other than that, Amazon Core SC, from what I've seen when I casted, looked pretty strong too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they could improve enough to move up as well.
Yeah, I also think like Teddy Bear and Epic Badger. I think those two are friends and they're new to CPL, both tier 1 Protosses. And I played Teddy Bear in preseason and he was just like really friendly and great to coordinate with. So I think he's going to be an asset to his team.
Yeah, I think Teddy Bear is going to be a very strong player. He actually joined in like King of the Hill with us IRKs, and he seems like a very solid player. Also, Gomertas was pretty low last season, I think, and now tier 1. I'm betting he's going to be tier 0 before the end of the season if he keeps progressing like he is.
Yeah, his reported MMR was actually in a tier 0 range, so he's very close. I would say he's on kind of the border there, so definitely look for him to maybe go up as well.
Yeah. And let's see how long Kicks is gonna last this season before he quits.
Poor Kicks, man.
One of the few Terrans you get in tier 1 as a European, and he always just I don't want to play anymore after 2 or 3 weeks. So I hope he'll.
It's okay, longer. You guys. Yeah. You actually have IRK Fazic as well as a Terran player. In case you guys are looking at this list and being like, who am I going to practice my first Terran with?
Yeah.
You can always play against Cryok or something too.
Yeah, definitely. That's so easy. All right. Anything else about this team?
I think we've covered enough. That's the 2 European teams.
Yeah.
This one has a lot of new names. It'll be excited to see how they develop through the season. There's a lot of new names to see on this team.
So the next team is Team 3, and it's Saetzero's team. And
yes.
Looks like this.
Saetzero, the team admin or staff member, I should say, on this team.
All right, Saetzero, why don't you introduce this team, seeing as how it belongs to you?
So I'm the pet admin. It belongs to me, even though I didn't really make. Okay, no, we could do that. That's all right. As you can see, like as we start the North American teams or the non-Euro teams, we should say, we got an extra coach. That's already an advantage. We're in a good spot. But there's definitely a lot of players I've seen in CPL before, players I hear with really good reputations. If you watch the coach show match, Astro is so good. So that's going to be exciting. And then like Hawk, Keen, just like people that have been around in the scene for a long time that could really teach people a lot of good stuff. So excited to have them as coaches on the team. Other than that, looking at players, like there's a lot of players in here I know that like I've played with that I'm excited to play with on a team, and also the fact that I'm not like trying to keep forcing Team Dragon Part 3. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
So it's like there's definitely people in here. We got like Bojack has one of those players that I know from a while ago that just always seems to be working hard. So I'm curious to see if they can keep going up. And we got, like, Fox is always around. He's doing good. Healing Vision looked like they were good in the preseason from one cast. So, I don't know, like, hopefully a lot of Protosses could teach me how to play the game better.
Yeah, a lot of new players. Yeah, I was just going to say, it looks like there's a lot of new players on here, too, that I don't recognize. So looking forward to seeing how they do. Definitely some names that you would recognize on here, too. But, yeah, got to give a shout out to my boy Ninjum Nat, who's going to be helping coach. He's a very strong Terran player as well. Some very strong tier 0s on this team. It seems like every team so far has been stacked with the tier 0s, but looking forward to this. This team looks like it'll be pretty good. There's some strong tier 1s in there as well that could be borderline tier 0s. So this is definitely a team to look out for.
Yeah, and I see a lot of tier 2 players in there that I've played against in FFCL. Or FFSCL, like Hatcher Pancake and Hazelnut. I mean, those are some pretty solid players. I I think Hatcher Cake. His name is Hatcher Pancake, right? I'm not sure.
He's Hatchery Cake.
Hatcher Cake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's Hatcher Cake there because it couldn't fit any more characters.
Yeah. But I played him 3 times, I think, in the FFSCL, and he's definitely edging towards tier 1. He's a really solid player.
Yeah, I know a lot of people on this team actually. Astor was on our team, like Operation Indecision last season. He was kind of like a new, a coach. He was like a new find for me anyway. I'd never heard of him. He was like Korean Australian at the time, going to school, and now he's back in Korea. He has his stream, which you guys should like. I think his server is pinned to Terran Help on CPL. You should definitely go check him out. He doesn't advertise his stream very much, but he does like coaching sessions on his stream all the time, and he's very focused on like helping players. And I know he's like friends with Shiny, and Shiny coaches him, so he's like learning builds straight from Koreans, and I think he's going to be a really great Terran coach. And then of course like Keen and Hawk. Keen's like been a CPL coach forever, like since the first season, I think. And Hawk, of course, is like really strong and Azerg. And I think he also just joined IRK. So he's been really active recently.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be good. And if you guys don't know Just Too Juicy, he also streams. And he's kind of like a high A rank Protoss, but he's got really, really good builds. So I think that that will make him a very, very good coach for CPL level. So I think this team is like pretty stacked. I also see a couple of people like Saetzero already shouted out Bojack, AK_E3. I've been on a team with him before. He actually did really well in preseason. I think he went 4-0 in week 2. So watch out for him. He's also just like the nicest guy ever. So great asset to any team. And Wuxa is on ME as well. And he did really well in preseason, and I think he's going to be like tier 1, like top tier 1 if he keeps practicing by the end of the season, because he's been improving at like a really, really amazing rate.
All right. Okay, so should we go into team number 4?
Oh, this is the best team. Team that's going to win it all, of course, right?
I think
Of
this
course.
team is looking very interesting, and it's just because of one big thing in here, one big hit. So let's just pop it up here. Team 4, Snipe's team.
Yeah.
And first of
Team
all,
that's going to win it all.
I see Rhett in there.
Just so you all know.
I see Rhett
Yeah, that's right.
in
What is
coaches
this crap?
section there, and I mean,
Yeah,
he's a legend.
yeah, for sure. Well, this team has the most coaches, as was pointed out there, 6 coaches. Just based on, some of the coaches that wanted to coach together, it ended up having the most.
And
yeah,
coach
I mean, we got-
activity as well.
Coach activity as well, yes. But we have Raz, Nesh, Rhett, of course. Very, very, very strong players. Mars, who was in Tier 0 for preseason. He got promoted up to coach because he did so well. He was in the group of death, if any of you caught that cast the other day. And he just 4-0'd that group of death, no problem. So he got moved up to coach.
He played in Rogues Gallery Holiday Special, and he actually 3-2'd Machine. This was just like on January 2nd. So he's in really good shape, Mars.
Wow.
Yep, that's right. And as you can also see, this is kind of like the NAS team. If you look at Tier 0, pretty much everyone there is in NAS. Very strong clan. We're all the NAS B team, but still strong players. Tier 0 there, a bunch of B rankers. Definitely good coaching going on in Tier 0. Then looking further, we've been having a NAS player Tier 1. Shout out to Spec there, who recently just joined. But then we also have some more players that I've played with, or we played with back in Operation Indecision last season, like Death Star, Avanoki, Reb, of course, Art of Turtle, Xeno Coop, another 2, and just some new players I'm looking forward to helping coach as well down there in Tier 2 and Tier 3, especially helping out those Protosses get a little bit better. So. A lot of new names in here. I like the team.
Shout
I think we're gonna win.
Shout out to your team winning the Flow sweepstakes. I know everyone.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the Flow sweepstakes.
Yeah, everyone was very up on Flow going into preseason. Performed well in the games that we casted. Performed well in groups in general.
He didn't. He actually didn't play in preseason. I think the reason that he was like so sought after is that we have almost no tier 0 Zergs. So he ended up being the only one on the draft list, and like everyone was like, "We'll take him." We're like, "Okay, where are we gonna put him now?"
Yeah, but
cast him. Really?
yeah,
Okay.
No, he didn't play
Yep.
in preseason.
yeah. He did request to be with Rhett, so that's why he ended up here at the end of the day. So, and Team 4 did request him as well. So,
Yeah. I think every NA team requested him. Like the only
Yeah, at least
Zerg.
three
We
of
have
them
so many
put him
Zerg
as, like,
coaches.
there's another player like that. He wanted to be on this team as well, but unfortunately, he got placed on another team.
Yeah.
But everyone put him high on their list as well. So,
Yeah, that's winning the popularity contest.
they just know they're strong for their tier, maybe, or the Zerg. They just want. We need Zergs in tier 0.
Yeah,
For some Zergs to improve this season, we need more.
Yeah. I think Names TV, I don't know him at all, but he did really well in preseason because he was in tier 2 and he 4-0'd, and then he went like 3-1 in tier 1, I think. So maybe he's like a candidate to move up at some point.
Art of Turtle could probably move up as well. Like, he's very strong. He's just maybe a little bit rusty. He didn't do particularly well in preseason. It hurt me to put him in tier 1 because he's always been like a tier 0 player, but I'm sure he could move up as well if he starts playing again. Well, so.
Yeah,
Definitely a good, friendly guy, nice guy, and great coach too. So
Curious to see how Zeno Coop does with the race switch.
yes.
Strong player before, but switching to Zerg, going to the dark side. We'll see how that goes. And you got the Rem meme. You have to deal with that, so that's good.
Yeah,
That's all
lucky
I'm
me.
working out.
I
Dude,
get
shout
things all day
out,
long from him.
shout out to Rem, Aben, Hoki, and Zeno, the like OG MCMS crowd. Bunch of clowns, man.
All right. So, are we ready for Team 5? Or any last words about Snipe's team? How many benches do you need to lose?
DM me for details. But this team's definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
No corruption going on around there.
No.
Yeah, he can't be bought, otherwise we'd have third world in this mix. Trust me, I tried.
Hey, CPL, Corrupt People's League.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Team 5.
Strom's team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot
this
of
is the
MI players here.
Yeah, this is my team. This kind of like it ended up being like a majority of players that had like requested to be together, so there wasn't like a huge draft list for this team. It kind of happened like there's a lot of these people I know from like previous teams, or they hang out on my server, and people had requested to be together beforehand, and then when we just like had decided to put one admin on every team, it ended up working out really well. So our coaching list is of course Tim for Protoss, and Tim and Crane. Crane has been making a lot of like educational videos recently on YouTube. You should check those out, and he actually started streaming as well, so you should go give Crane a follow. And then we have Striker. He's kind of like an NA Zerg player that you probably recognize from the coaches show match. I think he beat G5 2-0, I think. He's active on JN server. He's doing that talk show recently with JN. I think they have a ZVT one coming out tomorrow. And he's a very analytical player. So I think he'll be very good for like the tier 0 Zergs, of which we have 2, which is like we're winning the tier 0 Zerg game here. But yeah, he already works with George and Sheep, so I think that'll be a good fit. And George is going to be helping with the lower level Zerg, so I think that's going to be good as well. And then we have Relentless. He's been involved in CPL forever. He's Terran player, and him and Pato will be kind of heading that. Pato is South American, and he was I think he was a double WCG champion back in the day, but he's like come back in the last year and been playing. So
yeah.
And Relentless has actually been laddering. So crazy stuff. But yeah, I feel great about this team. Like, I mean, I know all these people, so I don't even know who to give shout outs to. Maybe
Royal Blue.
Oh yeah, Royal Blue. Blue is the other guy who won the popularity contest.
He was number 1 on 3 of the 4 North American teams draft list. So we're like, well, where do we put him?
Yeah. I think he ended up going on this team because there was we're very low on Terrans. So, and the other team that he was interested in had a lot of Terrans already. So it just kind of happens that way sometimes.
Yeah, the other team he wanted was Team 4. So.
This team has a lot of casters for CPL as well that aren't casting coordinators. So you guys did good picking up those people. You're gonna get a lot of exposure. Cold Warp Gates, Royal Blues helped me out in the past. Mr. Wizard's done it last season as well. So you guys got a lot of the casters, which is nice. Definitely a lot of people on this team to shout out. Since
yeah,
I would
a lot
say
of old MCMS and Operation Indecision people here. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of the names here are a little more familiar to CPL if they've been around for a season or two. Someone I want to shout out that probably isn't as familiar character in Tier 3. They were in RSL 2, just like Lana is Hot that I shouted out before. Looks pretty strong, and I'm expecting them to go up some point in the season.
Yeah, I think for me, the tier in here that's the most interesting is actually Tier 2. There's a couple players I would say Mr. Wizard, Arcade Plus, and Melody, maybe Melody and Mean Seeds. All 4 of those guys. Mr. Wizard is already at kind of the top end of Tier 2. So I think that his improvement is going to be very much based time dependent. I think if he has a lot of time to practice, he can probably be a very strong Tier 1 player, Tier 2 player. Same with Arcade Plus. He's got very, very strong macro. I'm excited to see what Pato and Relentless can do to help him out. Melody, I think, was one of the draft picks, and I guess she's a Grandmaster StarCraft 2 player. So I think that she's probably going to improve really quickly. And Mean Seeds, of course, won RSL a while back. So I'm excited to see how he does in Tier 2 and in CPL as well.
All these teams that just look so strong.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at all the Tier 0s. I'm every time a new team comes up, I'm man, this Tier 0 is the best. And then the next team comes up. I'm no, this one's the best.
This team's going to win it. No, this team is.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm happy to see Pato in there as a coach from IRK, of course. And, of course, Ethan, Royal Blue. He always does good in CPL, so I hope he continues doing that this season as well. So, we got one team left.
One more team, Nablime's team.
Yeah.
Our lovely Australian casting coordinator.
So he's not here, so we can make fun of it, right?
You make fun of him anyway, right?
Yeah.
Team 6.
Big shout out to Nablime for always showing up to staff discussions 5 hours later because of time zones and being I still have to read this.
Yeah, I don't know where he goes because he says he never sleeps during the CPL season.
Yeah. I thought he hibernated between seasons, man.
Yeah, he's like a bear or something.
I mean, that's what he's doing right now. That's why he hasn't been doing Match of the Week with me. He's hibernating. This is what he does during the holidays.
Well, this is some interesting coaches here. G5, Sabbath, Machine, Brochette. I'm surprised he signed up again. He's not very active, so I hope he starts being active again.
He's Brochette works shifts, so he's kind of he's around sometimes. And I think what happened last season is he made friends with a couple Protoss players, and he messages people on Battle.net when he's around. So I would like, if you're on his team and you want coaching from him, I would recommend like getting him on BattleNet, and like not really worrying about Discord because he's not the greatest at Discord, but he will help you if you get him on BattleNet, and he'll be like, he's around at weird times because he does work shifts. So
yeah, and I see my boy Cuss there. He started streaming a lot and casting as well. So, and he's been progressing a lot. So I'm really happy to see him in tier 1. I hope we can get to tier 0 as well by the end of the season.
Yeah, I've casted with him a couple times with some of the match of the week stuff. It's been a pleasure casting with him, and excited to see how he actually does in the season.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
You also have the mythical purple chess.
And the purple ice axe. There you go.
Yeah.
purples on
This
this
is
team.
Team Purple, man.
They got 2 purples, so it's Team Purple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that the max amount of purple? We don't have very many race pickers this season, actually.
Purple is race picker, for those who may be wondering.
Oh, so I get purple, right?
Well, yeah, I guess technically. Or they didn't declare a race. They're like, I want to play random, right? Chess and CX, ISAX are all like, I want to play random. But as we know, random is not in CPL, but you can choose your race or play a different race every week if you would like. So, yeah, definitely some names that stick out here. All the Australians are on this team. That should be noted as well, like Nablaim, Scaramanga, Mr. Chill, very strong. I could see him going up to tier 0. He's recently hit B rank as well. It's Bugs Bunny, of course, sitting there in tier 2. He could be a coach, but he's playing in tier 2. Inside joke. Frozen Rice, okay, Denny, another Australian. Jarcino's from New Zealand, but pretty close to time zone wise. So there's probably a few I'm missing. Sorry, but yeah, a lot of different players here. So it's good. I like the look of this team. I know Saetzero really wanted G5 as a coach, but
yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
I think that like G5 Machine and Sublime are gonna be like just about the friendliest coaching trio you could ever ask for.
Definitely.
They're all just like really, really friendly.
And really active as well. They're playing a lot and they play together a lot with everyone. So I think it's a great coaching setup for this team.
Yeah, there might be some kind of like relationship here going on between Team 6 and Team 4, because I know that like Raz, Nesh, and Rhett play with G5 and Machine all the time. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they were like, let's all be on the same team. And I was like, okay, now you guys have 10 coaches, so we're going to have to split you up. Like I support it, but we can't accommodate it.
Team coach. Yeah, exactly. It would have been team coach.
Yep.
Yeah. I would say if you want to put the Vegas money on, I would say this team by far has the most tier 3s I expect to move to tier 2. Like there's a lot of names I see in here.
I don't know any of these guys.
Just from what I've seen.
Well, I know Nice Pants. That's it.
Like honestly,
like Nice Pants.
No comment.
I would expect like I wouldn't be. I'll rephrase. I wouldn't be surprised at all if like Escalade and Jarcino and SC2 Aries and Nice Pants all were in tier 2 before playoffs hit for the season.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, a strong tier 3 is something that's, like, I think pretty underrated a lot of the time. But, I mean, a couple seasons ago, that's how MTMS won, right? It's just because our tier 3 always won every week. And it was, like, I remember at the team draft, everyone was like, this team, like, look at these, like, tier 1 players. Like, they don't look very strong. I don't think this team's going to do well. And then our tier 3s just basically won the season for us. So don't be snoozing on the tier 3 games.
Nope. All you need is Buenaventura.
Exactly.
He wins.
He can play for tier 1 and still win, so there you go. Buena for coach or what?
Yeah. We have, I guess, an obligatory shout out to Doc Holliday, just because he's always involved in the community. It's good to see him back in CPL.
Yeah,
I was happy to see he signed up as well.
Definitely
a well-known guy in the community. So.
Yeah, he gave us some great shout outs on the Pylon show, so props to him for that. Thanks for the support.
All right. So that's the 6 teams. Let's put them all up here and see
If you can fit them all on the screen.
Yeah.
All
think
232
I can, but I'm not
players?
sure.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Agge.
What a
You
god.
can barely read them.
This production is like over the top.
High quality production here in CPL.
Yeah.
Right, so, well, every season or before every season, when we have this show, we always do some predictions about which team is going to win. And in the end, it's always my team that wins. So, which team do you think is going to win this season, guys? Which American team are you voting for here?
Well, obviously Team 4, because, it's got the admin. He can rig the matches and everything. So, I think they got it locked up.
Legitimately speaking, I would say Team 5 looks like they have strong players at every tier. It's not just like one tier completely stacked and then the others are falling apart. There's some strong names across the entire board. So Team 5, I would say, is the one to look out for.
That's really funny because I was gonna say I think Team 3. I'm looking at like Fox and Ninjube and being like, who are they gonna lose to? I think Ninjube like went like 7-1 in preseason, and we all know what a monster Fox is. So yeah, I don't know. I think that like Team 3's got a lot of good players as well, and people that are capable of winning a best of 3 for CPL when it comes down to it.
Team 2's Tier 0 just looks scary to me.
Yeah.
All in Jedi 1. Especially, like, I've played those two a bunch, and they're just so strong. They scare me. I don't want to play against Team 2, and it's our turn to play them.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, I think, like, I don't want to play against Inkjet.
No, and Genta and Teddy Bear also very strong Tier 1 players. As well as the Return, of course. So, yeah, Team 2 is looking pretty good, but yeah, Team 1 is having some seriously dominating players here. Like, yeah, we have Cini there. No, I'm just kidding. I just.
I think Sands. I think Sands is like. I think he's gonna just win his games. Honestly, like that's my prediction. But I think Team 3 overall.
Yeah.
I'm
Saetzero.
I'm always worried about any team with people switching their race, using CPL as like a training tool to like learn more about the game or explore something else, because that means they have the knowledge and the mechanics to back it up. And it's just they gotta learn what to do, and once they get a coach and can do it, so the more people you have switching races, terrifying.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I was actually thinking about switching race for this season, but in the end I decided to stay with my race.
Zerg.
You would
Or Zerg with Protoss against Zerg.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Zerg
We
with
all know you as
Master.
that cheesy, aggressive kind of Zerg doing different things. I've played Agge a few times. It's always surprising. I think I'm about to win, and then he kills me. It's like, oh, okay.
It's not easy. It's creative. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Well, the only PVCs
Definitely.
I get every season is against Doc Holiday, and our PVCs are like 40 to 60 minutes long, so it's just annoying because I can't practice for that. I can't practice
We'll be sure to match you guys. We'll rig the lineups.
And we're
Corrupt
both
people's
like
league, right?
so exhausted from a whole season, and we get to play each other the last round, and then in the playoffs, and we're just like, oh, I haven't practiced for this, and then we're just playing lazy, and the games just drags out. Yeah, but it's fun. We have a lot of shit talk in between, so it's nice.
There's that, and there's like a lack of Tier 0s, Zergs at the top. When like Tier 0 especially, you can see there's hardly any Zergs. But even Tier 1, there's not like a ton of Zergs across the board. So Zerg's got to work on improving this season, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, good thing we got our Zerg coaching lineups, especially for the NA teams are just like completely stacked. It's like Hawk, Keen, Striker,
Rhett.
George, Rhett, Machine. Like, come on. It's gonna be good. gonna be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun season for sure.
Yeah,
Look at all the people we got here on screen. There's just so many players participating this season. It's great to see, CPL just growing every season. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with the teams. I think it's gonna be good. I hope you guys are happy as well.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
happy
very
with
happy.
a lot of people I'm not used to playing with. So making new friends, getting some new insight from other coaches, or just casting all season. We'll see.
Did our best to balance the teams out and everything too. So.
Since we got the everything on the screen here, do we want to go over how many matches are played in a match for the week, so people kind of have an idea of like how important is tier 0, like how many matches are being played each week?
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really important.
Did we ever fully agree? I think it's somewhere like.
Did we
in the past-
agree?
Well, that's why I created it as a
That
question.
is a good question.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good
We
question.
did have some discussion going on. Like in the past, we tried to aim for slightly over 50% of the players being able to play each week. That way, there's plenty of room for people to sub in, or there's plenty of room like to let everyone take a break one week and play the next week, kind of thing. So it gives lots of opportunities for people to play and sub. But at the same time, like the seasons would go a little bit longer. So this season, like we said, we're trying to shorten it a little bit, maybe so the coaches and players and staff don't burn out as much, and we can run more seasons. But in doing that, we're also going to have to up the number of people playing per week, or percentage of the team per week. So we were looking at maybe something. What was it like? We were talking about maybe 25 players playing per week or something per team.
That
which
was
is-
kind of around where we're. ending
Yeah,
up now.
somewhere around there. I think we're still like working out, but so it'd be something like 3 tier 0s.
I think it'll almost definitely be 3 tier 0s.
Yeah, 3 tier 0s makes the most sense, and then it's something like 8 tier 1s and tier 2s and 6 tier 3s. Somewhere along that line would be playing each week. And if you don't know, like you'll play a different team each week. You just submit your lineup. It'll get ordered by your CPL MMR, and then you'll be matched up with a similarly leveled opponent on the other team. Ideally, I mean, there's always going to be some one-sided matches here and there, but we do our best to try and get you as close of a matchup as we can every week. And then if you win, obviously your CPL MMR goes up, lose goes down. So hopefully, after a few games, you'll find a little bit closer matches as well if you found your first week or two was a little too easy or too hard. So.
Also, for anyone new to CPL, doesn't really know how it gets lined up exactly. When we set up like the match for the week, you'll know what team you're playing against. We'll announce it on TL.net. We got a thread that we keep all that updated. You also see it in the Discord. You'll know who you're playing against with a week's notice, so you can practice the matchup, practice the map, really get in there and like get ready for it. And if you do very well, that's how we were saying, like, oh, we expect this player to maybe move up. If you're just kind of crushing it all regular season, we're going to move you out of your tier, so that way you have good competitive games. We're looking for everyone to have a good engagement with the games they're playing with the league and trying to just better themselves as players, so no one's going to be hanging around just bullying people and being the king at tier 2 or whatever. Like, if you're doing well, you're getting moved up. So the whole season, you're going to have to work and really listen to your coaches, improve as a player. Otherwise, it's not going to be great for you, maybe.
Yeah, so, I mean, the way that works, I think we haven't quite decided what we're going to do with, like, moving people up this season. It gets a little bit tricky with numbers sometimes, but we're probably going to have, like, a date that we reevaluate everything, like, 3 weeks into the season or something. And then we'll just, like, see, like, people will, like, request promotions or demotions or whatever, and then we'll, like, rebalance everything and see what we can do. But even if you're like, oh, I'm in tier 2, but like I really think I could have made tier 1, like don't worry about it too much, because like they were saying, we do have CPL MMR. So if you're tier 2 and you're beating tier 2 players, you're going to be playing the top players in tier 2. And the distinction between the top of tier 2 and the bottom of tier 1 isn't really that large. It's like the reason we have tiers is so that each team submits like an equal like gradient of skill. Right, so it's like it's like we talk about things in terms of tiers and everything, but like it really is your CPL MMR that counts. And if you're like top of tier 2, you're gonna be playing other people who are top of tier 2. So like don't worry about it too much. In
You
that
can
regard.
think of it as like one big long list of players, and you're just going to make
Yeah,
match up
yeah,
against the other
exactly.
big long list of players in equal skill level. The tiers don't really matter in that sense. But we do talk about it. It just makes things easier for us. It makes things easier for the players if we have it separated by tiers like this. Just for, like Strom was saying, submitting lineups and stuff. Just so we have an equal number of players submitted per tier or per skill level, skill range.
Yeah, yeah. It otherwise like the skill gradient could be really offset, right? Like if somebody just like submits a lineup that's like all their strongest players, then it's like discouraging teams from fielding weaker players. So that's why the tiers exist. But like don't get too worried about them if you're like in a tier that you were not expecting, or if you're like a tier too high or a tier too low, you think it's like it's okay. You'll be playing other people who are in the same position as you with the CPL MMR. So it should balance itself out.
Yeah. I like just to reiterate that for people that do overthink it. The bottom of tier 1 and the top of tier 2 is probably closer than the top of tier 2 and the bottom of tier 2.
Yeah.
So it's like just because you it's like we have to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
So don't sweat the details and that kind of stuff. And if you're like a lot of the times like when you're practicing with your team, you're gonna play against the people better than you to help you learn anyway. So you'll learn really quickly. It's like, oh man, I can hang at this tier. I'm excited. Maybe I'll get to move up, and hopefully your performance reflects that. So like it's all things that you could look at the positive about. Just don't sweat the details about any of that.
Well, that sounds great, guys. I think when I'm looking at the teams and I'm hearing about the setup for this season, I think this is going to be a great season. And yeah, I'm wondering if I can keep my place in tier 1 or if I'm going down to tier 2, bottom tier 2, because...
No, you're not allowed in tier 2 with me, man. Get out of here.
So we'll see if I sign up my girlfriend here for to be able to sub in if there's any spot left. She actually got a bit motivation back, but she's pregnant, so it goes up and down. So we'll see.
All right. Well, congrats.
Yeah,
to that.
we do have a wait list going on, and we'll probably like add waitlisted people as requested, or like when we do the tier thing. I don't know. We're gonna try and keep it reasonable this season, so it should be good.
Yeah, sounds good. So, any last words about the teams and the season, or should we go into questioning the chat if they have any questions?
I think I'm done talking about the teams. Nothing else I really need to say. We covered a lot here.
Yeah, I think so. I saw a question immediately in chat that I wanted to address now. How long is the CPL season? Regular season will be 6 weeks. So you're going to play every other team once, and then there's going to be like one final week that has a little bit of seeding to kind of get ready for playoffs, get the matches as best as we can.
All right.
Yeah, and playoffs will probably be 3 weeks. So as far as like timelines go, start thinking about like team name and team logo right now, because we would like to start the season like on next Sunday, and we need to have all the logos and the team names before that to do that. So hopefully you guys can get your team names and logos done in the next couple of days, because that sometimes is quite the process and it delays the season a lot. So we're gonna try and like put the hammer down this season on that, so it doesn't end up taking up so much time.
Yeah, if you don't pick one, we will. You're just one staff.
Yeah.
You can just,
Yeah, dude, I can draw things. I will make you a logo, like, and it might not be what you want.
No problems picking team name and operation and decision last year.
Oh yeah, not at all.
I mean, that was great. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a question
there's a
here.
question. Yeah.
How does
go
the
ahead.
waitlist work? Is it for replacing players who drop out of CPL, or for subbing in if someone can't make a match?
So yeah, people basically just DM a staff member their application. We add them to the wait list, and there's people that drop out every season. You know, inevitably life happens, and people can't play anymore. They just disappear. And a team's like, "Oh, I'm having trouble fielding, say, tier 2 players. Do you have any tier 2 players on the wait list that can help sub in?" And we're like, "Oh, sure, let's see." And we'll give them a tier 2 player, and then so they have someone else who can help fill in, sub in, and continue playing for that team.
Yeah, basically exactly that. They'll be added as needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another question. Do the teams have a place to chat in CPL Discord?
Yes. Actually, I meant to talk about this and didn't get the chance to, or forgot to mention it. But yes, there's 6 team Discords that have already been created in CPL. The coaches have been placed in there for a couple of weeks. They've been talking, like that's where they've done their drafting. Players will be added in there after this stream, so look out for that. We're going to start adding players tier roles and race roles and team roles right after this stream. So you'll get placed into your team where you can start chatting, introduce yourselves to your team, get talking with your coaches, come up with a team name and team logo. Like we're saying, that should be one of your top priorities here, so we can get the season going sooner than later. And
Yeah. So lots of teams use those chats that are in CPL. There's also some teams that choose to make like a separate Discord for their team that will or should be owned by one of your team admins, your staff member that's on your team, or one of the coaches that has been in CPL before. So you kind of usually decide as a team whether or not that will happen. Both ways are fine. So think about kind of what you prefer, and your team may decide to do either. And then someone can go ahead and make a Discord if needed.
Right. So we have a question here about, all right, so the season is 6 weeks. So how many matches should each player expect from these 6 weeks?
Depends how many times you want to play. Like we said, we're going to try and up the percentage of players playing each week. So it'll be something like 2/3 of your team gets to play each week. So, I mean, if you want to play every week, you could play all 6, as long as, everyone on the team has a fair chance. Because there's always people that would say maybe you only want to play 1 or 2 weeks, where there's other people who want to play every week. But it's up to your team and your team admins, right? Like however they want to do it. Some teams will have like a separate chat where they say, react to this post if you want to sign up for the week. And then the team admins will say, okay, we need this many more players for this tier, or we have too many here, so this player is not going to be able to play this week, but they'll be first in the lineup next week. Or some teams have done like a Google Docs or a Google Worksheet, Excel kind of thing, where they're just like, if you want to sign up for this week, just put your name here, and you'll be in the lineup. And then team admins will submit the lineups to us as staff, and we'll handle the CPL MMR, arranging the players, and post it up on Team Liquid.
Yeah, Team Liquid.
Team Liquid, yeah.
Yeah.
So are we doing best of 1, so best of 3 this season?
Best of 3.
Everything's best of 3.
Yeah,
and the maps are predetermined.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
exactly that.
okay, yep.
Any other questions here?
I did see someone mention something about Liquipedia. So if anyone wants to get in touch with us about helping and updating Liquipedia, that would be appreciated. I did mention something into our Liquipedia team the other day about, getting the CPL 6 Liquipedia up and going and the preseason results and stuff. I don't think anything there has happened. So if anyone's interested in helping out, with CPL, helping get the Liquipedia updated and going, then definitely get in contact with me, and I can add you in there, so we can get that updated and get it going for the season.
Yeah, and I guess just one more thing, if you want a team admin, we'll be looking through the list and finding people who have volunteered for admin work, or who who we know are reliable or whatever, and reaching out to them. But if you are looking at these lists and you want to team admin, you think you can help us out with lineups, send us a DM, because we would love to have 2 or 3 team admins on every team, and those are really essential to the team functioning as a whole and functioning in the league and staying active. So
great.
Alright,
And, why does Snipe have a frog on his head?
It's his Discord.
Is it a frog or is it a lizard?
It's not a lizard. Get out of here.
good question.
I don't know.
I've
Ox
seen the
was convinced
picture,
it was
but
a
I'm not
lizard.
going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Ox was convinced it was a lizard last night, so I don't know. It could be a lizard, it could be a frog. No
Yeah,
one
who
will know.
knows? I've I've been told that I should make CPL emotes, but I haven't made any yet, so we'll see.
I mean, we got Pig. Pig's good. We're good. We don't need anything else.
We got
we got a
the
few.
original emote.
But yeah.
We got a few.
Yeah.
I've been making emotes.
Yeah, so just so I can give some of the new people to the league a little bit of advice to help you enjoy your CPL experience a little bit more. Like the coaches, they are volunteering their time. They are taking time out of themselves. Like they're not getting paid to do this. It's just out of the goodness of their heart, and they want to grow the scene and do all that kind of stuff. The best thing you could do if you want to like get the most out of your CPL experience or like be put in the lineups or anything like that, try to be active. It's not about if you're super high skilled or if you're winning all your matches. It's just be in the Discord, being active, showing that you're putting the effort in and trying. And if the coaches give me advice, they're better than you. Listen to them. You know? Don't be one of those people that's like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, the whole point of this is to have people that are very high skilled that can help you improve at the game, but they want to know that their work's not being wasted. So just be active, do your best, put the effort in.
I would second that, and just say like if you can approach if your goal, like some people have different goals in CPL, like think about what your goal is. Like, are you here to learn? Are you here to get the most out of this and get the best that you can be? Are you here to just play casually? Are you here to make friends? Are you here to cast? Like, there's lots of different answers to that question, and all of them are acceptable, good answers. But think of what your answer is, and then try to approach the league with humility, because almost no matter who you are on your team, there's going to be a ton of people that are better than you, and just remember that and listen to them and try and learn from your peers and from your coaches, and listen before you speak, and it'll be a good time. There's like lots of new friends to be made, lots of new communities to be found. CPL's a great place to kind of find your little niche in the Brood War community. So
yeah, be active on Discord. That's rule number 1 if you want to make it. All right, any other questions here?
Discord literacy. Discord literacy is huge.
How is training working? Can you train with other teams or only against people on your own team?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're not like tyrants or anything. You can train with whoever you want, obviously. Like, we can't monitor or control that even if we wanted to anyways. But no, I mean, you're welcome to play or train with whoever. Sometimes people are like have their coaching training sessions and they don't want other teams getting in there because they're like working on a specific strategy, maybe for playing against a specific team that week or something. But no, obviously you can play with whoever. Coaches, I mean, will decide how much they want to help out, how they want to help. Like maybe they just want to go over replay review, or maybe they'll like take you into a game and play with you and point out your mistakes. Like there's definitely different ways coaches can work with you to help coach, and it's really up to the coaches how they want to do it. So
yeah, it definitely goes a long way to helping the burden on the coaches of what they need to do. If you're asking for advice or looking for help, don't just be like, how do I play PvZ? Shrug. Like, try to think, focus, try something out, have some replays, or like I tried this build, but I died to this push. Or what should I like? The more focused you can be, the better the help you're gonna get, and it eases the burden of your coach because you saw how big these teams are. They're gonna have their works cut out for them. So try to help them out the best you can. Be focused and when you're looking for advice.
Yeah. And if you're a player and you're giving advice, just make sure that it's welcome. I guess is the other thing, because sometimes that can cause friction. But yeah, definitely like if you're a tier 2 or tier 3 player, like tier 0 and tier 1 players can also be like a great resource to learn. Just like tier 0 and tier 1 players, just make sure that when you're giving help that people are open to it. And of course that applies to coaches as well.
Yeah, I know for me as a tier 0 player, I like to give a lot of help and go into detail and stuff a lot when I'm helping people. So sometimes I can, talk too much or give too long of an answer, I find. But I don't know. I think most people appreciate it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's no more questions here, should we sum this up?
Sure. Yeah.
Snipe thinks his team is going to win this season again. Well, that sums it up pretty good, right?
Where can we donate?
One word. Yeah.
We do have a Kofi, Kofi, whatever you want to say. If you would like to donate, I'm just seeing if I can pull up the link to it now.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
in
the Kofi donations right now, we're going to go, we're kind of like 50-50 splitting them between, we have like a graphic artist, not me, another graphic artist who's actually a graphic artist, who helps us out with graphics sometimes. And we're hoping to try and like split that between the graphics, and then we have some people working on like coding projects for CPL to make the whole like CPL MMR thing a little bit easier. So that's kind of like, if you're wondering where those donations are going, that's where they're going.
Yeah, I just posted the link in the Twitch chat there as well. If you would like to donate to CPL, I think actually it's linked below the stream as well. There's a big button that says "Buy Me a Coffee" that you can click. That'll take you right there.
Snipe, do you stream, or do you just cast on Master Race stream?
I mostly just cast on Master Race stream. I have done some streaming in the past, but I found it's not always the best. I think it's probably more about getting the settings correct,
Okay.
so it doesn't like get all pixelated and stuff. But
Oh, you cast, huh? That's interesting, huh?
Mm.
Huh?
yeah, I do some casting.
Saetzero's already
and-
always trying to get us to cast, but like
I mean,
don't know.
oh yeah,
was
I already
busy
told him
making
I'd
the
join
team.
him for some Map of the Week this season for sure. So look out for that. I'll join for some Match of the Week casting. Definitely hit me up for that.
Little things we can plug real quick. Since you mentioned it, it's such a good segue. Match of the week. It is. Especially once we get into regular season, if you guys want to see us cast, there's a consistent every week plan around it. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's GMT -5. You can be there, and there's going to be casting. We're going to be casting a section of a tier. Like I got to figure out how we're actually dividing it up. It's not going to be like all of tier 2 because I'll be like an 8-hour cast. We're not doing that. There's going to be like sections of things. So we're going to have a good time for that, but it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If you miss them, we have a YouTube. You should be subscribed to the YouTube. All the stuff gets uploaded there. Shout out to Gorgonoth. He's usually the one helping out with that.
All right.
Yeah, YouTube's great. It's
Yeah.
got all the master classes from last season too, if you're looking to
Yeah,
get
good.
started.
Good learning resources for sure.
Yeah.
And the coach show matching stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Always a good time, always fun. Another little thing, say like if you signed up, you played in preseason or anything, you didn't see your name on the list. Definitely sorry. We're sorry about that. It's not intentional. Every player should be on a team. So if you were in preseason, played, you wanted to be on a team and you are not, definitely DM me and we'll get it sorted out. I mean, there's, like I said, there's so many players we have to deal with. It's possible that someone gets missed or accidentally deleted or moved to the wrong spot. It happens, and terribly sorry if it happened to anyone, but yes, just get in contact and we will get that sorted out for you and get you on your team.
Question chat, when does first week begin? Sorry if it's already mentioned. Do we have an official? We gonna start?
Sort of, like we said, we want to get it started as soon as possible, and not like when she says next Sunday, we don't mean tomorrow, but like a week
I
from
mean
tomorrow,
the
right?
17th. I mean Sunday the 17th.
yes.
So get your team logos and team names done. Go do it, because that's when we want to start, okay?
Yeah, get them done this week.
Barring a team being completely unreasonable, and we can get all those team names and team logos, and on the 14th or 15th, we can start on the 17th. So let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
If they're not picked, I'm picking a meme for you. You won't like it.
You know, say it's serious, so you know it's serious. So get on that, get your teams. But like I said, once this stream is concluded, we'll begin adding you to your team, so you can start talking with your teammates and get working on that right away. So
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I'm psyched about the new season, and well, as soon as we get split into teams on the CPL Discord, I'm for sure just gonna make sure we have a team name, because we don't want one picked for us, right?
you don't want
And we
We don't
Saetzero's
want to
teammates.
say zero meme.
And we want the TSH name again, right? I think.
There might be a little conflict there with the
Making
other
a
European team.
fight for it.
Yeah, we're gonna run for that name before Return manages to snatch it from us. So guys, any last words?
No, other than just want to give a big shout out to Agge for hosting the stream for us, of course. He does a lot of streaming on his own time as well. So definitely, check him out, give him a follow, everything. I just posted the link to his Twitch in chat as well. Our wonderful host. He's been involved in CPL for so many seasons. All around great guy, great host here. So big shout out and thanks to Agge for helping us out with this again this season.
Yeah, I love CPL and what you guys are doing. So I feel happy to support you guys in every way I can. Not going to be much time this season for casting and so on, but yeah, I'll be there for the team at least.
Yeah, I won't even razz you about helping me with the cast. I understand the situation.
If you don't upload your replays, though, you're
Then Saetzero might come
deep
after
problems.
you. Blind will definitely come after you if you don't upload your replays.
Yeah.
There's issues if there's replays missing. Preseason, y'all weren't fantastic. Sometimes. if you wanted, if you were in the Discord and wondering why didn't my group get cast, that's probably why. If you didn't have enough replays, but I'm not chasing them all down.
Yeah, I guess my closing words would be there's been a lot of activity in the Brood War community lately. Lots of activity outside of CPL. So see if you can check that out. But the main thing is all of these coaches are active members of the community. See if you can find their Twitch streams and follow them and watch their streams. Like I mentioned that Astro streams a lot, Squall streams, Master Race streams, like all these people stream. Hawk has a stream. It's not super active, but he has a stream. G5 streams. Like, go follow these people. Go follow these coaches and support them, because they're taking, like Saetzero said, time out of their day to volunteer and help you with your StarCraft. So see if you can turn that around and give them a show of support on their Twitch streams. And a lot of the time, you can donate to your coaches on their streams as well. So check that out.
Definitely. All right, everyone. So thanks for watching, and I hope you all enjoy the new season of CPL. And we'll see you all very soon, I hope, in your respective teams as friends or foes.
GG, good luck, have fun.
Yeah, good luck, have fun. Look forward to seeing everyone around this season. Let's have a good one.
Yeah. So
casting your game, not playing against you.
I guess it's daytime for you guys. Here it's Saturday evening, so I'm gonna...
Yeah, I haven't even had breakfast yet.
I'm gonna see if my girlfriend is home or if I can play some StarCraft. Alright, everyone, thanks for watching and have a great evening, day, or night. Love you all. We're out. Ciao.
Bye.